Okay, hello everyone, that's bloody loud, I'm sorry. And welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate League Career Mode, Super League, whatever you want to call it. We go straight into this episode looking at a striker, because after the episode of Darren Bent being sold to Benfica, us not being able to get Lewandowski, we need to start looking at other strikers. Now, as you know, we were looking at Boney, or Boney, whatever the hell his name is, I don't know how to say it. I'm going to call him Boney, simply because it sounds kind of right. Anyway, so we start looking at Gary Hooper from Celtic. So Celtic are the division below, which may give us the advantage there with him wanting to leave and maybe come to a high division. I don't know. But we can start off with giving Ogbonna a contract. Okay, so he didn't refuse the first one. I think he ends up refusing this contract though, and we end up giving him a new one. But yeah, the deal with Gary Hooper does not seem to be going anywhere. They want 7 million for him, and I don't fancy paying that much for him because he's 24. And I don't know if he turns good or anything, so I don't risk it. So I lower it down by $1 million and offer Andres Weimann in the deal as well. For some reason I keep doing that with that player. I don't have any problems with him, but I seem to be offering him in every deal I possibly can. So we start this game going in against Lille. So bear in mind we are not expected to win this game at all. But we had the first decent opportunity of the game. But then Rue, whatever his name is, throws it through to Martin, and he scores a good goal in the 13th minute. But straight from there, we go from kick-off to Stephen Ireland making a great interception. Benteke unfortunately not being able to get onto the end of it and finish the goal. But Benteke a couple of minutes later showing his strength, and then scores a great goal for us again. I think he'll become a key player in the team, like he is at the moment in Aston Villa. He's the only one that can score from. But then, surprisingly, Lille get the ball there, but then all my defenders just crowd in on him and manage to kick the ball out. 88th minute, so between what you just saw then and what's happening now, generally not a lot happened. It was quite a boring game, to be fair. A lot of middle of the park passes, not a lot of great chances. But Stephen Ireland gets probably our player of the match. Now, I said last episode that I don't particularly like him, which is true. I don't know why, but I just don't. But it may come to a stage where I need to keep him, because he is starting to play quite well, and getting rid of another fairly good rated player could damage the team's core. But it says the fans are demanding results. We've lost to a 4.5 star rated Newcastle, who are predicted to go up, and we drew against a 4.5 star rated Lille. So I don't see where the problem is there, but they seem to have a problem with it. So I've got to make sure that in my next game against Torino, I must win this game. I should be beating this team anyway. They're about the same sort of rating as I am. But 10th minute, Benteke goes through and he scores a lovely goal, set up by the one and the only Stephen Ireland. But that header there from them, I thought went in at the time, and I was like, well, we cannot seem to keep a clean sheet at the moment. So it wouldn't have surprised me. But then Bong Lahore here seems to get injured from some sort of tackle that happens. And then Santana completely does my keeper and scores he gets a good finish on the ball. And Ireland here again sets Albrighton up, and Albrighton running down the wing, throws in a cross, and then luckily 88th minute Benteke heads it home for us. Now, if it weren't for Benteke, I'd say we'd be last right now, because the reason he benefits my team so much is his strength. So with any other player, I'm starting to go towards the more strength players and pace as it is, because it seems to be that strength helps out more in a game. Because Benteke isn't exactly slow, but he could be a bit faster, but he'd be incredibly OP. So anyway, I think we see out this game all the players on very, very low fitness. I need to try and address this situation. I don't really have that many players who I could switch them out for. But as you can see, we win the game 2-1. Benfica getting both goals, and a good goal from Santana on their part. The game as a whole was very boring again. I will try and get you more highlights throughout the games, so I'll try and play more passes through. I'll try and get more chances rather than sitting back waiting for chances to open up. So the game in whole was a bit boring. The team in general played quite bad, except for Stephen Ireland and Benteke. And Clark got a fairly good match rating. But apart from that, not many people stood out. Now, our next game is against Benfica. Now, Benfica are expected to win the league. As you can see, they just drew against Bayern 0-4, which could work in my favour. They may have had a player injured during that game, which may help me out. But anyway, as you can see, this is where Ogbonna declined the contract, so I go ahead and I offer him 60,000 a week. It's a lot of money. I lower his contract down to 3 years, and I submit the offer. Bear in mind, last game we made him look like a fool, and now they've rejected that last offer that I put in for Gary Hooper. I decide to go back in for the run for Boney, whatever the hell his name is. Boney. I decided to put 7.5 million rather than the 6.5 I originally wanted to offer. So I decided to spend my money, as it were, to get the player. Ogbonna signs for us now, which is a great help back at defence. I'll have him alongside Ron Vlar rather than Kenny Clark. Yeah, I think that's his name. Don't take my word for that. Anyway, we get to offering Boney a contract. Hopefully he should accept this first time round. But because of the fitness last game, I decided to get my assistant manager to just change the whole team around. But I switch out Brett Holloman for, I think I switched out for Fabian Delph in the end, or maybe Gardner. It's one of the two, because yet again he is another player I don't like, Holloman. But I think he actually did stay in the team in the end. We will have a look. We will see in a minute. Anyway, this is the big game. Benfica. If we can win here, we could make a good push for promotion. But it may not work. So as you can see, 26th minute, we are applying a lot of pressure to their defence. But they managed to get us on the break. Just making my defence look terrible. And then Cardoza just missing the target there. That's just a let off. But then Cardoza making a lovely finish there to put the 1-0 up in the 31st minute. And as you can see, Darren Bent has just come on. Now, if there's one thing I don't want to happen, it's for Darren Bent to score. But I don't know how we're going to prevent this. He's got the pace. I shouldn't have sold him, if I'm being honest. But then he played a lovely through ball, comes off the post, and then my defender manages to get in front of Darren Bent so he can't get the tap in. So it should have realistically gone down to an own goal, but at least it didn't go to Darren Bent. That's all that matters. So we win the game 2-0 in the end. No, win? I wish we won that 2-0. We lose the game 2-0, but we managed to complete the deal with Boney, which is a great help to us up front. Yet again, another player with amazing strength. I'd recommend him very much because I know for a fact he grows a lot throughout the game. So we now got a replacement for Bent. Let's hope he can score the goals to match his 7.5 million price tag. I hope for my sake that he starts to perform well and he just scores goals. But this is FIFA and anything can happen. Knowing my luck, he'll break his leg in the first game. And as you can see, I take the big risk of placing Ireland on the transfer list. Like I said in the last video, I don't like the bloke, I do not know why. So I go into the game looking for replacements for him. And I do come across this Montpellier Cam. I can't remember his name. But no, it's not I can't remember, I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try it, because I'll make myself look like a complete and utter retard. But this bloke is 22. You'll see him on the screen in a minute, and he just looks unreal. But he does cost a whopping £19 million, which is a lot of money, which we don't have, and it cost me to sell a lot of the team just to buy him, and it may not even pay off even if we did get him. As you can see, I'm just scrolling through them here, looking at players in my league. And then you'll see him come up in a minute. No, I changed it. I think I go down a division actually. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to talk about this series for a minute. Okay, so the whole reason I did this like ultimate league thing was because I like the idea of putting the world's good teams to the test. As you can see there, Bellhander. Yeah, I decided, I'm thinking about going for him, and after the inquiry they asked for about 19 million for him, which I don't have the money to pay for. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.